Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Direct Insurance Podcast, a podcast for independent insurance agents. My name is Kelsey. I'm the digital marketing assistant here at IAD, and I'm also the social media marketing strategist. Wow. Oh my gosh, who am I? So today, my guest is Gabrielle. Hello, Miss Gabrielle Curry. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thanks for having me back.
It's not like you went very far. It's not like we're not recording two podcast episodes in the same day.
The hall and back.
Yeah, pretty much. But today we're going to be talking about marketing on social media for independent agents. We're going to be talking about like how important it is and why it's really important to kind of jump on the bandwagon now, and especially like having a strategy when going about it as well. So we're going to be talking about like why do independent agents need to use social media to market their insurance business. We're going to be talking about the growth of social media over the last decade. We're also going to be talking about why social media marketing is harder in the year 2023 than it has been in the past. And what are some of the strategies that can help you stand out online organically without having to pay a ton of money for ads? So let's go ahead and first jump into social media to market your insurance business, which is basically another form of lead generation. It increases brand awareness because almost everyone is on social media. Like our moms are on social media, our dads are on social media, grandma and grandpa are on Facebook, like they're also on YouTube as well. That's how we're searching for information. And you have access to a wide range of potential clients if you're doing it right. And it also helps legitimize your business. We had actually just talked about how scams are so relevant, or not relevant, they're so prevalent in today's culture. So people pretty much have their guards up. There are some people that, yes, are going to fall for the scams, like the very gullible people. And then now as an agent, you're sitting there having to work even harder because you're essentially having to teach this person to be more savvy about who they trust, right, but also being like, okay, but please trust me because I'm legit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Using social media, especially when you have a website, also helps increase your web SEO. And helps people find you more easily while they're searching for these services online. And it also helps you build relationships of trust and rapport. By being social and allowing your audience to get to know who you are a little bit more, people wanted to be able to do business with people who are honest, they're transparent. They want to be able to feel like they have a little bit more of like a connection to them before working with them in person. And then you can also reach audiences all over the place and not just limited to your geographic location or just in your local community. It's a really good way for people to get to know you before you even meet them in person. There might be people that are sniffing you out online before they even decide to work with an agent. Actually, so let's go ahead and really quickly talk about the growth of social media over the last decade. So I've got a question for you. Which social media site was started first? LinkedIn, MySpace, YouTube, or Twitter?
I'd say my guess is YouTube.
Is it?
Say them one more time.
Yeah, okay. The options were LinkedIn, MySpace, YouTube, or Twitter.
Oh, MySpace.
Actually, it's LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. LinkedIn was founded in December of 2002 and was officially launched on May 5th of 2003, making it the oldest, while also being the most relevant social media site in today's world. LinkedIn's mission, as posted on their website, is to connect the world's professionals to make them more successful and productive. Their vision is to create economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. So following very, very shortly behind LinkedIn was MySpace, which was launched on August 1st of 2003, so just 3 months later, and was developed by everyone's first friend, Tom Anderson.
Everyone's first friend.
MySpace was a social media site that was targeted towards music artists in order to help them promote their music, and also making it very attractive for youth audiences to explore new music and share information with friends online. Facebook launched very shortly after MySpace. It was launched on February 4th, 2004, developed by Tom's ex-BFF, Mark Zuckerberg. And Facebook initially started as an online space for Harvard students, but quickly expanded to other college individuals in the Boston area. And by September of 2006, everyone over the age of 13 with a valid email address could join Facebook to start sharing cat videos and memes. In late 2007, Facebook had close to 100,000 business pages where businesses of all sizes could have a space online to share new products, launches, updates, and communicate with all of their consumers. As of early February 2011, Facebook had become the world's largest photo sharing platform, with 350 million users on the Facebook app, which accounted for over 33% of Facebook's overall traffic in October of 2011. And by October of 2012, Facebook had reached over 1 billion active users. So when you think about that now in today's standards, like a billion active users. That's literally 1/8 of the planet. Like, isn't that wild?
Yes, that is.
Yeah, so when you think
It's blowing
about
my mind a little bit.
1/8 of the planet, even when you think about like how many people there are, even just in the local Detroit area, and I find this out every day, every single time I'm on my way home from work when I'm stuck in traffic on
Oh
275.
yeah.
I
Oh,
tell-
population.
Dude, seriously. And I'm sitting here like we're too overpopulated on this planet. And there are so
Yeah.
many people that'll sit here and say, like, oh, well, all the millennials aren't having kids. Like, we're not going to have any people left. Listen, there are 8
We have
billion
enough.
people on this planet. The
Have
population is growing. It's just growing slower, but it's
We're
still
good.
growing. Yeah, we've got enough
I think
people.
we're good.
Goodness gracious. So to follow along with that, YouTube was launched on February 14th of 2005, 1 year after Facebook, and was developed by 3 friends, Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jared Kame. YouTube allows users to upload videos, view them, rate them with likes and dislikes, share them, add videos to playlists, report, make comments on videos, and subscribe to other users. The slogan, broadcast yourself, used for several years, and the reference to user profiles as channels, signifies the premise upon which the platform is based of allowing anyone to operate a personal broadcasting station in resemblance to television with the extension of video on demand. Google did purchase YouTube in November of 2006 for $1.65 billion, where YouTube now operates as one of Google's subsidiaries. So it's really, really important for people to, if they own a business, to not only use Google ads, especially if you have like a brick and mortar location and you have a website, but to also make sure that you're utilizing video ads for YouTube as well, because it's all kind of like connected, and you can utilize your video ads and manage like the YouTube ads through your Google like ads manager.
Oh, okay.
In 2012, YouTube reported that 60 hours of video were uploaded to the platform every minute, and by February of 2017, an average of 400 hours of video content was uploaded to the platform per minute. 400 hours of video every minute is being uploaded to YouTube, and that was just in 2017. Then by May of 2019, the number was 500 hours every minute. I was not able to find any updated information on how many hours of video are currently being uploaded to YouTube every minute, but I can guarantee you that it's probably a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Because ever since everybody and their mama found out that you could make money by producing YouTube videos, that's when everybody was like, I'm going to be a YouTuber now.
Yeah.
There are kids nowadays, like if you ask a kid, like,
Oh
you know,
my
that's like
gosh.
anywhere between the ages of like 6 to like 12 years old. Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? They're like, oh, I want to be an
YouTuber.
influencer. I want to be a YouTuber. And it's like, okay, honey boo boo, you go for
Well,
it.
apparently it's kind of easy. You can just go on there and start playing with some toys and
Oh my
get some
gosh,
views. Then you're a
seriously?
sensation.
Oh my goodness. That kid, okay.
Toy
so
reviews.
If you
like,
guys,
come on,
okay,
it's
so if you
crazy.
guys don't know who we're talking about this kid. His name is Ryan, and his parents started a YouTube channel when this kid was like, what, 1, 2, something like that.
Yep.
And they would just like film him playing with toys, like whether it was like toys from like, you know, that his parents or his grandparents would have given for like Christmas or his birthday or whatever, and they would like play games with him and everything. And they found that kids loved watching him play with toys.
So
nowadays, like,
strange.
kids aren't playing with toys; they're watching other kids
Play with toys.
That's so wild.
That blows
to me.
my mind.
I remember what life was like to like actually play with toys and like ride my bike everywhere.
And be outside playing with ants.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
Playing with ants.
That was my thing.
I also had like one of those like little bug collector things where like you'd have like the little mini like
Oh,
magnifying
yes,
glass, and you had like the
yes.
butterfly catcher. Oh my
Fun
gosh, I
times.
love the good old days. You can't find
Playing-
toys like that anymore.
No, blowing bubbles outside, just being
Dude.
carefree.
Yeah, and just like the simple life, man. Like I
Yeah.
tell you, today's kids they just won't understand. I'm like I tell you, if
They don't know how to play.
But back to social media. So Twitter was launched on March 21st of 2006, 1 year after YouTube. Twitter was developed by the 4 members Jack Dorsey, Noah Glass, Biz Stone, and Evan Williams. Twitter is considered a microblogging platform where users can post and interact with messages known as tweets. A person with a registered Twitter account can like, tweet, and retweet tweets. Wow, say that 5 times
Yeah.
fast. Persons without a registered account can view public tweets. Twitter began as an online-only web-based digital platform, but quickly began allowing SMS tweets with a limit of 140 characters. In 2017, the character limit doubled to 280 characters for text tweets. However, video and audio tweets are still limited to 140 characters. Fun fact, the 140 character limit originated from the SMS limit of 160 characters. Twitter handles were capped at 20 characters, which were considered part of the character limit. This allowed users to be able to send tweets via SMS in one message from the text platform to other users without disruption. So yeah.
That's a fun fact. That is
I
a
know,
fun fact.
right? Ooh. So by the year 2012, Twitter had more than 100 million users producing over 340 million tweets a day with an average of 1.6 billion search queries a day. In the year 2019, Twitter had more than 330 million active monthly users with a majority of tweets coming from a minority of accounts. Unfortunately, it is estimated that about 15% or 48 million Twitter accounts are fake. In April of 2022, one of the largest business deals ever took place. On October 27th, 2022, Tesla owner Elon Musk purchased the Twitter platform and became Twitter CEO for a hefty purchase price of $44 billion. And it has been a zoo ever since. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I don't have a Twitter.
I was setting up a Twitter account for one of our agencies that's enrolling in one of the social media marketing programs, and I had literally just set up the account. I mean, I set up the account, got in the information input, set up the bio, everything, and left it for maybe about a week because I was still waiting to receive some content. We were still developing the content before we got ready to post it at the beginning of the month, and then one of the agency assistants had reached out to me and been like, "Hey, I can't find us on Twitter." And I was like, "That's weird." I mean, I really haven't done anything with it yet, but I mean, I have everything in there.
To be able to see the profile.
Yeah. But so it said that the account was locked due to suspicious activity. What suspicious activity? I haven't done anything yet.
Because you opened it and didn't go on it for a week. That's suspicious.
Exactly. So, I mean, and I swear to God, it's been like a zoo. But many users, including celebrities and businesses, have left the platform due to an increase in spread of hate speech and misinformation. Elon had this whole mentality behind, yeah, you should be able to say whatever you want. But then people were starting to, talk smack about him, and he was like, okay, never mind, not like that.
Yeah. Was that before or after Trump's little debacle?
I think this was after, because I want to say that former President Donald Trump got banned from Twitter. I want to say this was late 2020, early 2021, something like that. I want to say that it was after the insurrection. I want to say.
Okay. So it really was just going.
Yeah, going all the way down. Yeah, but yeah. So it is. But yeah, it wasn't until October of this past fall. So October of 2022 was when he officially took over, and then started just basically running amok. It was wild. But moving on to Pinterest. Pinterest launched in March of 2010, lagging behind the rest of the platforms. Was developed by Ben Silberman and Paul Sciarra, originally called Tote. The Tote app originally served as a virtual replacement for paper catalogs, where users could purchase items from all over the internet in one place. Due to the lack of sophistication in electronic payment, the platform struggled. But what Silberman noticed was that users were amassing large collections of items and ideas to share with others. The idea stuck with Silberman and began the work on Pinterest. So the platform originally served as a web-only, but the Pinterest app launched in the Apple App Store in March of 2011, and Pinterest accrued an average of 11 million weekly visitors by December of that year. In today's world, Pinterest is used as a visual search e-commerce platform where users can organize posts known as pins into collections known as boards. Pins are images that have been linked from a website or uploaded to the platform, while boards are a user's way to categorize the images that they pin. Pins and boards can be kept private or shared with other users, making Pinterest the most drama-free social media site. Today's businesses use Pinterest as a means of having a visual representation of aesthetically pleasing products or services, graphics or infographics, home renovation ideas, recipes, and of course, wedding planning ideas and decor. Pinterest is also widely used as a means of digital SEO, providing backlinks from pins to the user's website. This is one of those SEO strategies that I have been telling so many people about that nobody really, I feel knows about it. It's kind of like one of those gate-kept sort of secrets, is that you can literally just create an image, just create one on either on Canva, or if you have access to a professional graphic designer like we do, then you can create a graphic or just an image. If it's a picture, anything from your website, post it on Pinterest, link your blog post or your website link to that Pinterest pin, and then that will help your organic web SEO.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Ah, well, there we go. Learn something new every day.
Absolutely.
So, Instagram. Instagram launched on October 6th of 2010 by Kevin Systrom, and this was the first prototype of Instagram was actually a web-based app called Bourbon, spelled Burbn, due to Kevin Systrom's love of bourbon and whiskey. The app was stripped down to its photo sharing, commenting, and liking features. And the word Instagram combines the words instant and telegram. Instagram's primary focus was a feature of photos that were captured on mobile devices. Instagram originally debuted for iOS only, racking up 25,000 downloads in its first day, 100,000 in its first week, and 1 million by mid-December of 2010. So, like, literally not even 2-3 months later, it had, over 1 million users. This came just in time as the iPhone 4 had launched in June of 2010 with an improved camera technology for its time. And by March of 2012, Instagram had a user base of about 27 million. This number was strictly composed of Apple iOS users before the app's launch for Android in April of 2012, where the app was downloaded more than 1 million times in its first day. Like, Instagram was like, oh, here, we're going to open this up to you Android people. And Android people were like, yes!
We've been waiting.
Instagram's rise in popularity was mostly due to the app's features like filters that could be used in videos or photos. Users could upload and organize content with location and hashtags. Instagram users can browse other users' photos and videos by searching for hashtags and locations. They can also scroll through an aggregation of trending content and interact with other users' photos and videos by clicking on buttons that allow them to like a post or add text to a comment in order to post. When a user follows another user, it means that they are adding that user's photos and videos to their feed. Instagram has since received criticism from users, businesses, and influencers due to the changes in the app's algorithms. As opposed to posts being seen in a user's feed in chronological order, posts are organized in a user's feed by the likelihood that the user actually wants to see it, meaning that a user's content might not even be seen by the people who follow them. This is the problem that many businesses and social media marketers have tried to vanquish every day in order to be more visible online. And in late 2021, Instagram and Facebook debuted its Reels feature, or their answer to TikTok. With TikTok seeing massive amounts of success since the COVID-19 lockdown, Instagram answered by adding a Reels feature. And Instagram Reels is a video clip under 90 seconds that can have text, sounds, and music added as an overlay. And as of early spring 2022, Instagram announced that the Instagram algorithm would be prioritizing Reels as opposed to photos, officially making Instagram a predominantly video sharing app. And I dislike that completely. Why in the world can't we just have the platforms be what they were intended to be? Like Twitter, just like microblogs, like, your short little, thoughts. And then you've got, Facebook, which was like a little bit of everything. And then you had, Instagram for photos. And then we had, YouTube for long form video. And now we've got TikTok for short form video. That would have been great with me. Just let the platforms be what they were supposed to be.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of people like me that is like, I'm a little bad with technology. Like, I have a hard time moving with the technology because once I learn something, I'm comfortable with that, and you make all these updates, I'm like, oh gosh,
oh my goodness,
what is happening
Lynette
here?
And we were just talking about this yesterday about how as soon as it feels like you get something figured out with Google Ads or with the social media platforms, as soon as you feel like you've got it figured out, they make a bunch of changes.
You don't, yeah.
And then it's like, well, fine.
Yes.
I can't.
Yes, that's how I feel.
Oh, goodness gracious. But TikTok actually launched in September of 2016 by ByteDance in Beijing, China. TikTok originally gained popularity under the name Musical.ly when ByteDance spent nearly $1 billion to acquire the startup video platform based in Shanghai with an office in Santa Monica, California. Musical.ly started in August of 2014 as a social media platform where users could lip sync to short sounds, including music and comedy skits. TikTok merged with Musical.ly in August of 2018, keeping the TikTok name while also keeping the existing user accounts of Musical.ly in order to create a larger video community. In late 2018, TikTok was available in more than 150 markets in 75 languages, with more than 104 million downloads on Apple's App Store. By October of 2018, TikTok had become the most downloaded app via iOS in the US. By February of 2018, TikTok had hit 1 billion global downloads. TikTok gained a lot of praise due to its targeted algorithm and content organization. Viewers view content under the For You page, which is a feed of videos recommended to users based on their activity on the app, generated by the TikTok AI that assesses the content that a user likes, interacts with, searches for, or how long they view the content for. Users can also view the feeds of accounts that they follow in the Following page. TikTok also has additional features like React, Stitch, and Duet, where users can display their reactions to videos or duet with the original video in a new side-by-side video showing the user's reaction to the original video. This is perhaps one of the most commonly used features in the TikTok app, and that's now the ability to respond to comments in a video. Oh my gosh, I love that. One of our top producing agents, her name is Joanna, and I'm very excited because she's going to be sitting down and I'm doing an interview with her as well. We're going to be talking about it. And one of the most simple things that she does with her TikTok content is that she will have people will literally just ask questions in the comments, and she will reply to the comment with another video.
Okay,
So instead of just answering the question with the text, by replying to the comment, she'll do it in a video. And even in my own self, with my own personal TikTok account, I always have people asking me questions all the time, and I never think to answer with a video. And I'm just hello, I do this for a living. Don't you think that I would know by now to actually go with the strategy?
Yeah.
It's wild. But one of the newest features in the app was made in 2020, which was a virtual items or small gestures feature. With the addition of this feature, many beauty brands flock to the platform to capitalize on this social gifting feature. The app also features a family safe mode, which gives parents more control over their children's digital well-being, giving parents the option to restrict content and screen time management. And although TikTok was already seeing massive amounts of success prior to the COVID-19 lockdown, the largest boom in users was between March and August of 2020. By July of 2020, the app reached close to 800 million active monthly users worldwide, reaching 1 billion users by September of 2021.
Wow.
So when you think about how long it took Facebook to reach 1 billion users and how long it took Instagram to reach 1 billion users, and TikTok did that overnight. It was so rapidly growing. Now we can also sit here and say that that's probably just due to the fact that, as time progresses and as people become more apt to using technology and being more tech savvy, that the generations were aging. And so all these younger kids that were born, at the time that the iPhone was launched, and now they're use social media and technology like it's nothing because they've grown up with it around their entire lives.
Yes.
TikTok has received numerous criticisms, though, from governments globally regarding privacy concerns, impacts on mental health, and cyberbullying. In August of 2020, former President Donald Trump threatened to ban TikTok in the U.S. by September 15th if the company did not get bought out by a very American company such as Microsoft. Such attempts have since failed. TikTok continues to have controversy surrounding it, including spread of misinformation, dangerous acts, and some suspicious e-commerce transactions. Although the app continues to buckle down on its community guidelines by taking down inappropriate content, concerns among parents and lawmakers remain. TikTok is today still gaining popularity, especially in the Gen Z age bracket. But as popularity grows amongst the younger generations, so do the communities of older generations. I want to say that I was actually on a webinar yesterday where the digital marketer was explaining that now 1/3 of TikTok's total audience is age 30 and up. So even though there's still quite obviously the majority of TikTok's audience is under the age of 30, the audience of 30 and up is still growing. So I think that that's something that's very important for agents to know, is that they sit here and think to themselves, maybe their kids are always on TikTok. And they're like, oh, well, grown-ups and adults and, people who are seniors and need Medicare aren't on TikTok. No, they're there. Trust me, they're there.
I didn't think
they're just there in smaller numbers.
Seniors were on there.
Oh, they're there. I was actually something that I was going to talk about with Joanne was just her overall success with using TikTok, because she generates leads like crazy on TikTok.
I'll be sure to tune in to the episode because I'm going to take some notes, and especially because I'm new to TikTok. I just recently started probably a month ago, and it's just because it's been added to our we use Sprinkler. So we've just gotten permission to be able to use TikTok. I wasn't using it personally before, so it's all new to me. I'm on there, and honestly, I made the page, and I got so overwhelmed that I didn't go on there for almost 2 weeks. I'm when I go on here, I'm it's too much. It's a lot of settings. It's very overwhelming to me.
I find even too, I'll get really overwhelmed with a certain platform, and I tend to go through these phases where I'll be right now I am on Instagram quite a bit. I've been spending a lot of time on Instagram for the past 2 or 3 weeks. I really haven't been posting to my own personal TikTok. But then there will be times where all I do is produce TikTok content.
Okay.
But then I'll be okay, I'm really, really done with TikTok and Instagram, and then maybe I'll be on Facebook for a little bit. So I go through these like ebbs and flows of
Okay.
like what I want to use.
Mhm.
But I don't know whether that's just because that's just who I am and that's just my nature, or if I wonder if other people feel that way, where they just get really overwhelmed with like a certain platform, either that or they're just like getting really bored of it, you know. And I do find that me being consistent, I'm still consistently posting content, but just I'm consistently posting content on whatever platform it is that I'm into at the
see what you
time.
mean. Luckily, I don't do that only because of the platform that we use, because we can post to
Yeah.
everything at one time.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I had to go in and post on each site individually, I would be like that too.
Yeah. And I think that that's the reason why a lot of agents like get really overwhelmed when it comes to social media marketing, because they understand that it does take a lot of time and it is very tedious. And when they want to have a web presence on every platform, it can be really overwhelming because you don't really know what to do.
That's
And
something you got to put in your schedule.
Yeah. And that's why you should let us do it for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So here at Insurance Advisors Direct, we do have a separate service called Marketing Advisors Direct, which is kind of like our digital marketing service. And it includes like web design, graphics, including social media management and social media marketing. I would kind of, personally for me, I would describe it more as content marketing as opposed to social media marketing. So content marketing kind of differs from social media marketing in the sense that content marketing is more about producing that educational content and kind of going for that 3-2-1 rule, you know, 3 educational posts to 2 company culture posts to 1 selling post. Whereas social media marketing can be more defined as we're running the ads, like we're doing the advertisement, the promotional
and
stuff.
actually coming up with the post.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we do all of that for all of our agents. One of the things that I feel like really sets us apart too in this service is that we create everything, every single piece of content for every single agent or agency from scratch. We find out what your target market is. We have you draw us up a couple different of people that would fit into your audience personas. So that's how we're able to kind of like design content for people that you already know want to buy from you.
Do you include the actual agent in the content?
Yes. I have them I have them send me pictures and videos.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we'll create like the graphics for them, but I'll also do all of the other research for any sort of like status updates, just like the text, especially for working with Facebook. I always tell everybody, I'm like, you need to have at least a Facebook page.
Yeah,
you know, you can add other stuff on later, but that's fine. But like, you need to do Facebook, especially if you're in Medicare.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And how do you guys so what you were saying, you kind of have packages?
Yeah.
In a sense. Okay. I want to talk about that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really important to kind of approach your social media in more of like a content marketing aspect, because if you're doing just the social media marketing where you're just running ads, you're not going to see the results that you want. You're not going to be getting the clientele that you want. You're not going to be retaining those clients because you're not building that relationship. If you're just running an ad, then if they look at your Facebook page and you've got like nothing posted, either that or if you're just posting a bunch of like spammy and scammy looking graphics and it's like all like selling, they're not going to trust you.
Yeah, that's what I try and do. Actually, my most recent post, my team, we won like a referral contest.
Ooh,
so we went to crab and karaoke.
Yeah,
and I made a
saw
TikTok,
that on
of that. Yes,
Yeah.
so I'm like, I try and make it not so boring. I try because we do a lot of fun business culture things. So I'm gonna try to add that into, because we do a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah,
we do a lot of contests. We win a lot of prizes. So I feel like showing that is a little less intimidating. You know, because me personally, I don't want to follow a page that's like posting all spam stuff, all looking like Google pictures. Yeah. You know, that gets really boring.
Yeah.
So,
I always tell everybody, I'm like, you need to have a good content mix, because granted, I can make you your month's package out of just graphics, but then it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's boring.
Yeah.
Boring.
And that's another way that like it's changed. So growing a platform on social media is a lot harder today than it was in earlier years due to a multitude of factors. Number one being platform oversaturation. Literally everybody and their mamas on Facebook. Platform monetization. It's now harder to grow a social media account due to the growth limitations put in place via algorithms because of monetization. And because users can make money from brands and creator funds, social media apps are becoming increasingly harder to grow on without proper content. And algorithms, everybody's favorite fickle mistress.
Yep.
Love them or hate them, you have to please the social media algorithm with high quality content in order for people to see it. You know, if you're just just posting like nothing, nobody's going to see it. I mean,
Right.
like you can even have people that follow you that aren't seeing what
still
you're
won't see
posting. You just have to do it right. You have to have a strategy. You have to like post when, I mean, here's the thing. You can Google like, oh, when are like the best times to post on Instagram or on Facebook? And it's like, yeah, you can do that. But sometimes I feel like even that doesn't work, you know?
No, because that's definitely how I started off scheduling my posts.
Yeah.
Based on, because they'll even give you suggested times. I know Facebook does.
Yeah.
They'll suggest times to where they feel like the traffic will be a little higher.
Yeah.
But starting as a newbie, that's definitely what I go on.
Yeah.
But algorithms, like...
Yeah. Sometimes what I find that I'll do, especially when I'm starting off like a new social media client in the very, very beginning of their package stage, is that I will post everything pretty much like at the same time, just to kind of like get a feel for when their audience is going to be online, but also keeping in mind too that some of these accounts we're starting off literally completely from scratch, like
Yes.
brand new accounts. Not like, oh, I had a Facebook page that I've got like a couple friends on. No, I mean like brand new from
yes.
scratch. Just kind of seeing like what we're getting in regards to engagement and reach and impressions. And then after like maybe about like a month or two, I'm kind of like adjusting the times that I'm posting, you know, to kind of get a little bit more engagement. So say if I'm like, these posts got a lot of engagement if they were posted around like 7:30 in the morning, and then like these ones over here got less engagement if they were posted around like 10 a.m., even if this is what, you know, the research that I did suggested was to post at 10 a.m. instead of at 7:30. I got more engagement at 7:30 than I did at 10. So it just kind of depends. And then there's also lots of controversy as to the reason why marketing is harder too. So between data breaches, privacy terms, community guidelines, spread of misinformation, cyberbullying, hate speech, and more, controversy within social media apps can make it harder to grow and be seen by your niche of consumers. Do you say niche or niche?
I say niche.
I usually say niche too. And people are like, it's niche. And I'm like, potato.
I was going to say tomato.
Like, it's like, does it really matter? You know what I'm talking about.
It doesn't matter.
But another reason why, too, is because the early adopters have been the leaders. People who started out on social media platforms before the big booms of users are the ones who are leading and are still leading the big trends and are the ones who are continuing to grow. I mean, shoot, you think about Mr. Beast. I mean, like, what? He's like, what, at like 30 million subscribers or something like that on YouTube? 30 million people
want to see his content.
Yeah. I haven't subscribed to his channel yet because I don't want to be a statistic.
I was about to say, you just don't want to be added to the pool of people.
Well, not even just that, but I mean, like, I feel like a lot of the stuff that he does is very, it's interesting to watch, I will say, but at the same time, it's just not the type of stuff that, like, grabs my attention.
Okay.
It's not for me. I'm not his audience, you know, I'm a beauty lover, you know, I'm over here watching, like, all the beauty influencers, and I'm watching, like, what products they're using, you know, what's good and what's bad, because as an artist, I want to, you know, see product reviews so that then I know what's good and what I can add to my pro kit, you know?
Exactly, yes.
So I'm not his audience.
Okay.
But yeah. But you have to do something big and bad in order to get noticed. So perhaps one of the biggest reasons why we see schools and other public places being vandalized is because we as people can't help but watch the dumpster fires as they're going up in flames. But what we should remember is that how we come up is how we are remembered. And that conducting crimes reviews is a fast track to handcuffs. I mean, shoot, have you ever been in a situation or even just like experienced maybe someone else's situation or heard about something where maybe you had never heard of that person before, but then you heard about something really, really bad that they did. And obviously like bad news travels faster than good news. So then now all you can think of is, oh yeah, I remember that person. Oh man, didn't they get in trouble for doing that?
Exactly.
They could have been like the Nobel Peace Prize winner, but you had never heard of them before. But you will remember them for the way that they came up in that negative aspect.
Yes,
so that's something that I feel like as an agent you have to be really, really careful of.
Absolutely.
Because number one, you have to be able to stay CMS compliant. You got to make sure you're not posting anything about like premiums or prices. And as an agent, you're really not marketing the carriers. You're more marketing yourself. Yeah, because like you can be contracted with any number of carriers. So here in the state of Michigan, a couple of our like really, really big carriers that a lot of people are really aware of are like Blue Cross Blue Shield, HAP, Priority Health. But, you know, you're not really necessarily marketing like, oh yeah, I'm contracted with HAP. Like nobody's really like, yeah, some people do that, but that's not what's the most important thing as an agent. You want to be able to promote yourself.
Exactly.
So what are some strategies that can help you stand out online organically or AKA not paying for ads? So number one is branding in your personal brand, having a consistent message in who you are, what you do, and how what you do brings value to the consumer. And I'm going to beat everyone senseless with that phrase, who you are, what you do, and how what you do provides value. So how is it that you, in your business as an independent agent, how do you really showcase your personal brand, who you are, what you do, and how what you do provides value?
I'd say to be completely honest, I have to get better at that.
Mm-hmm.
Because even like in my own personal life, I don't post that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was not an agent, I probably would not be active on social media. I'm just one of those people to where it's not exciting for me. It's like I'm doing this because I'm trying to get myself out there, not
I feel
because
like
it's
I'm
fun
the same
for
way
me.
too. With when it comes down to like my business too,
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, I watched some. It was on Netflix, I think. I don't remember what the documentary was called. It was basically how like social media is essentially like ruining our lives and like dividing us more as a country. Like we're now like more like polarized. And literally after watching it, I was like, oh my god, I really just want to go delete my Facebook account right now.
Yeah, or just never get back on there.
No,
That
seriously.
type.
And I swear to God, if I was not like in the beauty space and needed to like generate leads via social media, I probably wouldn't have social media at all.
At all. So honestly, I just feel like my plan to get better at that is showing my face more in my
Yeah.
videos. Like
Mhm.
I'm posting content and things like that. I
Yeah.
rarely ever show my face. The most I do is like if I do like a seminar, I'll have pictures from there, but I just have to get out my own head because I want all my posts to be perfect, whatever that even is.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
no
even
such
know.
thing as it being perfect.
But then I'm also thinking like my hair can't be all over my head. I have to, be presentable looking. I can't do anything with my eyebrows all, aren't.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm that type of person where I'm overthinking it. When really I should just throw it out there.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm talking about insurance, do they really care what my eyebrows look like? So I think just getting out there, I just have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to do it. I have not yet done a TikTok with me in it. I just got to do it. I just got to do it.
You know what actually I think is kind of funny too is that I feel like videos that get the most engagement are the ones where there are questions kind of like left unanswered. And you kind of reminded me of this with like your eyebrow comment. I'm sitting there thinking to myself like, maybe I should do a video where like my eyebrows are just completely just like
Crazy.
jacked up because then I feel like people will comment on it and be like, why are your eyebrows so funky?
Okay.
Because then, listen, the algorithm doesn't care what sort of engagement you're getting. Any sort of engagement, any sort of comments are going to help your content get pushed further into the algorithm for more
Yes.
people to see. So if there's like one thing that's kind of like off about your video that pushes people enough to comment on it, that's great. So
I've
even if
got
it's
like
jacked up
one.
eyebrows.
I feel like the best so far that I've had as far as posts and content is I had an article that came up generated. It was about fitness. It was about things that you can do for seniors to stay fit and healthy. So I was just in my own personal life, I was at the gym. There happened to be this man. It's kind of like what you see on TikTok. He was flipping around. He was doing all type of crazy stuff. I started recording him. And then I tied it to the caption that was already generated from me. I was like, trying to make it personal, but still, like you said, being compliant. So
Yeah.
I'm like finding that balance
Yeah.
is kind of what I overthink. Find
Yeah.
a balance because I want it to be realistic, real life, but then I want to be compliant too.
Yeah.
So-
I feel like that's a really big struggle for insurance agents too, is that I was actually just talking to an agent a couple weeks ago about how she had hired like a third party marketing company to do her social media marketing. And they were posting stuff that was like, she was like, oh my God, I'm going to get my license taken away because of you guys. Like they were posting things like premium prices and just like doing stuff that was like real, like not compliant at all. And so she was like, she was like, I had to stop, working with them because I'm going to lose my business
They
because
didn't
of this.
understand her goal. They were just not on the same page.
Yeah. And they were doing all this stuff for her that she was like, I'm not really getting anything out of this because I now have to go behind you and delete posts that you're making for me because you don't understand the rules to my industry. And so that's why I feel like when you're partnering with as an agent, when you're in an industry where there are so many rules and there are so many things you can and cannot do, you really have to work with somebody that really knows the ins and the outs of the industry and knowing what you can and cannot do.
Absolutely.
Actually, number 2 is niche marketing. So making yourself and your business more appealing to a smaller group of targeted individuals who fit into a niche market of consumers who are most likely to purchase from you. Creating content that speaks to them and their needs or pain points and provides context to what your brand can do to help them. I tell people all the time, I'm like, do not, and I repeat, do not look at your followers. Your followers is a vanity metric.
Yeah.
It does not mean that these people are going to buy from you.
At all.
I could have 1 million followers on TikTok, but if none of those people are booking me for their wedding, then what the hell is the point of me having 1 million followers? Like, followers does not equal customers, so that's something
Or it
very
doesn't equal engagement either.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
That doesn't mean they're going to be liking or commenting on your post, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You think it should go hand in hand. Like, that's my thought process. Like, oh, you have more followers you get, the more people, maybe they'll share it. It'll go to a bigger audience, but like you said, that is not the case.
I had one video that like kind of went viral on TikTok. Yeah,
Okay.
so here I am. I'm like a TikTok influencer now. Just
At
kidding.
this point, no, you are.
Right. But no, so I had a video that I did that was like, oh, doing my makeup like it's the year 2016. That was like 2016 beauty trends, and it is now sitting at like 655,000 views or something like that. But like the number of comments that I got was just like absolutely crazy. Like most of them were like, it's giving Marge Simpson because the foundation that I used was pretty yellow. But I'm like, but that's just what we did in 2016. We didn't know any better.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my goodness, but
wasn't necessarily matching up.
Right, exactly. But like I gained like over 4,000 followers from that one video, but that doesn't mean, but even though it's now been like 2 or 3 months since that video has been posted, I haven't been really necessarily generating leads from that video and from the followers. So your followers don't equal consumers. And one of the things that I feel like I've been struggling in my own personal strategy with that is that I haven't been doing enough engaging with the people who are my target audience. If my target audience are like women in their like really like I want to start like at like the late teens because I want to like get in, I want to like slide into your DMs when you're like 18, 19, 20, like when you're like so then we can build a relationship over the next couple of years and then when you're ready to get married then we can then you'll have me as your bridal anyway, you know. And I feel like that's something that a lot of agents don't really think about too, especially when they're in the Medicare space. They think about like, I want to know who's turning 65 right now. No, like, come on. Like, why in the world are you not targeting the people that are like 62, 63? Take that time to really develop that relationship with them and get like, you know, on their good side. And then like, listen, when it's time for their IEP, like it'll be February 1st and their birthday is, you know, May 10th.
And they'll remember you.
Yeah.
And reach out to you.
They're calling you on February 1st being like, "Hey, I'm eligible for Medicare. Let's do this."
And that's the ideal client, honestly. Yeah. That's ideal.
Yeah, but like it takes that time to develop that relationship with them. You're not going to get all of these people instantly if you're not taking the time years and years and years ahead of time and like bringing those people through your social funnels in order to finally sell to them.
Exactly, yes.
Number 3 is high quality content. So content that's blurry, out of focus, not in frame, or simply of poor quality will not perform well. You have to think about what is going to catch the eye of your niche market of consumers without being clickbait. Number 4 is your content diversification. Generally speaking, as a general rule of thumb, out of every 6 social media posts, 3 educational, 2 about your brand or company culture, and 1 should be your salesy or promotional. That I feel like is when you can run like those boosted posts or like your social media ads, especially on Facebook, is thinking about like, okay, if I'm posting on Facebook 5 times a week, that means that I'm going to be maybe running like maybe a total of like 2 ads maybe a month, but the rest of my content is purely educational and company culture based. Because if you're doing all the like, hey, my name is Joe and I sell insurance, contact me if you need any help. And then the next post is, hi, my name is Joe. I'm an insurance agent. Like, nobody gives redundant. A crap.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So number 5 is your posting strategy. So having a good posting strategy is key. So posting at optimum time during the day when your audience is most active on the app will bring you higher engagement. And engagement is the key, is when any user interacts with your posts. Like, comment, share, etc. And those are all considered engagement. And the more engagement that your post has, the more that the algorithm sees this content as important for other people to see, therefore increasing your post reach. So say, for example, the best way to be able to get people to engage with your post is with a call to action or like a CTA. I tell people all the time, like the recipe for success when it comes to especially like video content, because so many social media platforms are prioritizing video content, is to start with a hook. So say it can be like, oh, here are 5 reasons why Medicare supplements might be better than Medicare Advantage. Even though technically, like, even if you might not think that MedSup is better than Med Advantage or whatever, whichever way you want to flip it, whatever your personal opinion is, but you're relating it to the audience in whatever way that works for them. And then you can start off with that hook. introduce yourself, literally like less than a 10-second elevator pitch. Hi, my name is Sue. I'm a Medicare insurance agent, and I help seniors find plans that are right for them. Boom. Short, sweet, to the point. And then you can go into the meat and potatoes of the content. And then at the end, give a call to action. Hey, like this video if you found that it was helpful. Share this video if you with somebody that is turning 65 this year. Share this video with someone that likes dogs. I don't know.
Right.
Any sort of like call to action that gets you any sort of engagement. Hey, if you have any questions, comment them down below. Or are you on a Medicare Advantage or a Medicare supplement plan? Comment down below. Literally just like get them to say anything.
Okay.
Or like, what's your favorite color? Like pop it down in the comments below. The algorithm doesn't care what they're commenting as long as it's a comment. And you should always, 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 always be replying to comments. If it's on TikTok, do it with another video. But if it is just like a comment on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, like whatever, make sure you're always replying to those.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. And then number 6 is your tagging strategy. So using location tags and hashtags, they're very, very important in order for your content to reach a larger audience. So even if you're only tagging the city where your business operates out of, when users are searching for content by location or topic, your content will have a broader reach because of the location and the hashtags that you used. If you're not using location tags or hashtags, you're not going to really increase your reach at all because you're not able to really categorize your content that way. So tell me a little bit more about like what your location strategy is like or your hashtag strategy.
So typically that's a little new for me, honestly, because I was definitely one of those people that would, like if I'm doing an event somewhere, of course I'm tagging, where I am. But honestly, my cousin, who I kind of work closely with too, he's awesome in marketing, social media marketing. He actually does marketing for 2 of his friends' businesses. So he kind of, we have been talking about the tags because that's something that just wasn't even on my mind to do. Of course, I see them in posts, but as far as coming up with them or just knowing what's the reach of, a certain catchphrase or something, I have to do a little more with staying in the know because what is like popular one day, 2 days from now is different. So I think working with someone who knows a little more about that is where I'm starting.
When I'm doing webinars and when I'm trying to teach the agents about like digital marketing and when we talk about like hashtag strategies, one of the things that I tell them is starting off with essentially thinking about your hashtags like keywords. What is it that people are searching for online? Because like people are using Facebook and TikTok like search engines. So if they're typing into the search bar like insurance agent near me, you can literally just use, insurance agent, Brighton, Michigan, insurance agent, Novi, Michigan, insurance agent, Detroit, Michigan, or Detroit insurance agent, those different things that are like, utilize keywords and like your keyword research and use those as your hashtags. I was actually on another webinar once too, where they were talking about a TikTok hashtag strategy, which was 3 hashtags about the content, 3 hashtags about you and what you do and your personal brand, and then 3 hashtags about the type of consumer that you want to be watching your content. And I was like,
this is something I need to be writing. Yeah. We're going to follow back up on this.
Yes. We'll go through the whole strategy in and of itself. Yes. But yeah, this is another episode that I'm going to be talking about with another that we're going to be doing soon too. Is because I had an agent who had come to me. I did a webinar and did like a free social media profile audit, and I was going through his page, and I'm like, oh, okay, so like the bio is kind of like half filled out, but I'm like, okay, cool. The profile picture is of the agent's logo, so I was like, okay, yeah, we're doing something good there. And then I'm looking at the content, and it's all graphics. They're very repetitive. Some of them are like Insurance 101, and it's very, very, very generic. I mean, and it's like a picture of like a flower field, and it's like maybe like a 2-sentence line about, oh, this is the reason why you should have insurance. It's like, well, yeah, no, duh. Everybody knows that they need to have insurance, but nobody
it's not driving it home.
It's
the flowers. It's like
not. It's like how in the world does this 2-sentence synopsis about why I need insurance relate to a bunch of flowers?
The photo.
It makes absolutely no sense. And I was asking this agent, I was like, okay, how much are you paying for this? Are you doing this all yourself? And he was like, oh no, I have like another third-party business doing it for me.
Is third parties doing this type of marketing out here?
Bro, listen. I
My
was like, how
goodness.
much are you paying for this? He's like, oh, like, maybe like $100 a month. And I was like, dude, you are throwing away your money. Like, literally
Honestly.
take $100 bill out of your wallet and set it on fire
Mm-hmm.
because that's what you're doing.
That's essentially what's
Because it's
happening.
not doing anything for you. They didn't even use hashtags. No hashtags. No
So it's
location
really the
tags.
person was just trying to figure it out themselves. There
L-
wasn't even like some type of plan or
No
strategy. They was
strategy.
like, we just gonna
Absolutely no
test
strategy.
it
Like
out here.
approaching it just like, oh, they're like, he's like, oh, well, they're posting for me 7 days a week. I'm like, for who to see? Literally no one to see.
And to
This
see what? What are we
literally
seeing?
exactly. So at the date and time that I had viewed this agent's page and I did his audit, I actually looked at the page again a couple weeks ago just to kind of like see what was going on with it. Literally the exact same number of followers and likes, no engagement, no nothing, and it's because there's no strategy. Nobody's looking at it. It's not intriguing. It's not sparking questions. It doesn't tell me anything about who you are, what you do, and how what you do provides value. So you have to have a strategy. You have to have the correct approach. And if you're not doing that, you're going to fall behind. Falling behind with social media marketing is you can't afford to.
Right.
You can't afford to go into anything in regards to business without a strategy. Walmart has a business strategy. Target has a business strategy. Victoria's Secret has a business strategy.
A target audience.
They do. They have a target audience of consumers. I actually did also have another agent that wanted to enroll into a social media marketing program. And I was like, okay, well, tell me about your target audience. And they were like, oh, well, anybody turning 65. And I was like, okay, I get that. But you need to like niche down a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, okay, well, anybody turning 65 in this part of Michigan. No, that's not what I mean. Okay, like, you give me like your audience personas, give them a name, give them an age, where do they live, what's their spending power like, do they have a lot of disposable income, or are they maybe on like a low fixed income? Like, what do these people look like? What do they like to do? What are their hobbies? What are and what are their pain points? Because you should be able to solve their pain points with what you do. So say, for example, if you've got somebody like Nancy over here, she's on a low fixed income. She makes maybe like $30,000 a year with her annuity or her 401k, whatever she was using to save for retirement, but she doesn't have a lot of money. Her problem is that she's, got all these medical issues. Maybe she's a diabetic and she requires insulin. She requires this and that and the other. But now she's just like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the doctor X number of times, and I feel like I'm spending all of this money. You as an agent should be able to be like, okay, these are the plans that are available that will reduce either your co-pays, or you're essentially almost like a med sup plan where you're paying essentially for everything all up front, but then you kind of get to go to the doctor like as many times essentially like as you need, right? So being able to create those solutions for people is really what you're doing, but you're being able to communicate the solutions that you provide to your consumer through social media. And if you're not doing that, then it's like, I mean, but granted, like posting stuff to social media, like we were talking about with the karaoke stuff, and like showing off the company culture and the things that you guys all do together, that in and of itself is great, because then it also establishes more credibility that you're not just like a scam. It's like, okay, this is a real business. They go out and they go do stuff together and stuff like that. So number 7 is utilizing video content in your posting strategy. There are a ton of benefits to using video content in your online strategy because video retains viewership longer than pictures and text, and it's more engaging and interactive. It helps drive conversion, conversations, and more. Video content is most likely to get higher engagement, which at this point now helps with reach and impressions within the algorithm. When you are posting videos to either TikTok or to Facebook, Instagram, whatever sort of like platforms that you're using to market yourself, I know that you said that you're still kind of like relatively new to this, but so when you are thinking about posting a video, really kind of like what's on your mind, like what's going through your mind, what's sort of like your purpose for posting this video?
So really what goes through my mind is to make it relatable. I don't want it to be, like we keep saying, generic post. I definitely go by the suggested post or suggested topic from our company, but I try to make that a little more exciting for my age group, because I feel like what is generated for me is for the older crowd. Now I have to make this a little more understandable to people my age and younger, especially with young moms, parents, or young couples, like recently married, to where you're growing your family, to where I don't know, you just don't know. You just don't know. So I'm trying to make it relatable to my age group. I feel like that's really my niche. It's trying to educate my age group, because I feel like we know about it, but we don't know
how it
about
works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we don't know our options. We don't know the details of it, and
Mm-hmm.
it can be affordable. You just think so everything is so expensive.
Yeah.
But it's like you just that's not the right plan for you.
I feel like so many of us, especially like people in our age group, we're very spoiled by the sense of the fact that we're always out here looking for employers that have provided healthcare, which
Mhm.
obviously in and of itself is a very, very big perk. And I know that a lot of
Mhm.
us really look for that. But I think that there are so many people that don't realize that there are more affordable healthcare solutions other
Mhm.
than what can just be offered by your employer, especially
Right.
if you still have to pay for those for some sort of like monthly premium
Mhm.
if it's taken out of your paycheck every month.
Right.
So my husband's employer, our healthcare used to be completely free, like paid for by the company, which was one
Mhm.
of the reasons why so many people wanted to work there,
Mhm.
was because they're, well,
Yeah,
shoot,
you
if I'm
don't
going to get my
find that
healthcare for
often.
free.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they ended up changing it in the last year to a point where we still have to pay a portion of the monthly premium, but it's not
Mhm.
as much as it would be if we were on
Like
our
a
own,
standalone.
yeah, on our own standalone plan.
Mhm.
But there are so many people that also don't realize that they can get healthcare plans for their family that are even more affordable than what
Mhm.
you would be paying through an employer like that, because there
Mhm.
are different carriers that
Right.
offer different plans.
That's also important to me to kind of teach our age group that everything is not so cookie cutter.
Yeah.
It's like you can customize most of these things. It's just like reaching out to get information is really the biggest part,
Yeah.
honestly, because everything is just not one set price.
Yeah.
And I feel like we a lot of times gawk at the price. Oh, it's too expensive. I
Hmm.
can't afford that.
But we also have to think about too that like I had no idea before I even started working here. I tell you, like I think it was like my first day. I had people like calling, and I was like trying to answer questions, and I was like, it's
Yeah,
my first day and I know
I don't know
absolutely
what we're
nothing about
talking about.
insurance. Like I was like, I know a lot about marketing,
Mhm.
but I don't know a whole lot about insurance.
Mhm.
But like I'll get there. And I swear to God, I've learned so much because I had to do a lot of research.
Mhm.
In order for me to create content for our agents that is going to be beneficial to not only them but to their consumer base, I had to
Mhm.
do a lot of the research because
Yes.
I'm the one creating the content.
Exactly.
So it's like I
Exactly.
have to be educated.
Mhm.
So I'm sitting now here, like I'm learning so much. And but even still, like I had no idea what the difference between an HMO and a PPO plan was.
Mhm.
It's like, does anybody know?
Right. Exactly.
So
Mhm.
like, and that's what I feel like is really important when we're sitting here trying to think about like, okay, who's our target audience? Okay, so if you're a U65 health agent, that means that like you're probably going to be targeting people that are obviously maybe turning 26. They're going
Mhm.
to be coming off their parents' insurance. What is it that a 26-year-old needs to know about insurance? They need to know about the difference between what the premium is, what their deductibles are,
All that.
what the co-pays are, like
Mhm.
how many times, like, and then especially when it comes to like finding a plan that kind of rolls in health, vision, and dental.
Mhm.
Like, okay, so do you wear contact lenses? Yes or no? Do you need to go to the eye doctor? How many times a year do you have to go to the eye doctor? Are you prone to getting cavities?
Yep.
Like, goodness gracious, I have never. I swear to God, I didn't need to go to the dentist very much when I was younger. But I
Mhm.
swear to God, as soon as I turned 26 and I had to pay for my own insurance,
That's
that's
when you
when I
got the
would.
cavities.
Oh, dude! Oh my gosh! It was like out of
So
nowhere. I
I
was
was
like, "What am
so
I doing?"
embarrassed. I'm like, are you sure those are my scans? Because I don't think that's me.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I had I
Like,
had
whoa.
the I had the root canal from hell a couple of years
Mm.
ago. It was absolutely terrible. And I swear to God, like ever since then, I've been trying to like take really, really, really good care of my teeth because I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
not going back. I'm
I'm
not
not
doing it
doing that
again.
again.
Yeah, but like I still find that I'm having all of these cavities and all these issues, and I'm like, dude, I don't get it. Like I
Yeah.
floss day and night. Like
At
I
this
brush my
point,
teeth like
knock them
3
out.
times a
Give me
day.
some veneers.
Seriously.
I
Oh
don't
my
know.
gosh. But then like we're sitting here like having to think about, okay, how do we educate people that are like 25, 26 years old?
Mhm.
What are your needs going to be for insurance? And then even like if you're a young woman, do you want to start a family?
Mhm.
Are you going to be in a health insurance plan that's going to give you extra benefits for while you're expecting?
Or
It,
you're gonna leave the hospital with a boatload of bills.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, I was actually doing the research for one of our agents because one of his target audience personas is a woman who obviously this isn't like a real person. So
Mhm.
like her name is Kristen. She's 28 years old. She wants to start a family. Like blah blah blah. So like
Mhm.
the way that I design content for that persona is
Mhm.
by offering information and education for how much it costs to have a baby.
Okay.
Like literally
Mhm.
without insurance can cost anywhere from $25 to $75,000. Especially like if you need like an emergency C-section or just
Mhm.
like other drills, other
That
drugs,
too.
drills. Yeah, I'm like,
All of
these drills.
that.
So it's crazy to think about, and it's all of these things that when you're younger, nobody really tells you anything about it. It's
No.
like they're like, oh yeah, having kids is expensive. It's like, yeah, you didn't tell me that the most expensive part about having a kid was the actual delivery.
Oh, that part, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, you
God.
don't know that.
And it's all the stuff that nobody talks about because insurance, I feel like, is just one of those very like gate-kept industries where we know that we need to have it. And we know that it can get expensive, but it doesn't have to be. And we've never really been told that and because we've never really been provided the information and the education on it.
Exactly.
So as an agent, that's probably the most important thing is that just being able to provide the education because knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
And the more that people know about what sort of benefits that they are going to be looking for, the carriers are going to start offering more benefits for, I don't want to say for like a lesser price, because price is only an issue in the absence of value. So whatever it is that the benefits that are providing value to that consumer, that's what they're going to end up going with.
Yep.
Here's the thing. I will pay top dollar for something that I find that is a better quality or that is going to provide me with more value or that's going to last longer in the long run rather than something that from the dollar store. You know what I mean? Like if I go to Dollar Tree and I pick up something for $1.25, even though I know that it's going to break in like a month, I'm not going to be too bummed out about it because it's like, okay, it was only $1.25. If you spend $500 on something and it breaks in a month and a half, you're kind of like, okay, I'm pissed.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So it's all about the value.
The value for sure.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's pretty much all I have to add. So, Gabby, is there anything else that you want to add as far as like social media and why it's important for agents to kind of jump on the bandwagon now? Give us your best advice to agents, no matter their age group, no matter their experience level. What advice would you give to them in regards to social media?
My advice would be, first of all, try it. You're not going to know everything before you make your first post. I feel like it's a learning curve for sure. And use your resources around you. If you feel like that you're not getting the results that you are seeking, to seek for help, because like you said, you can get left behind real easy when it comes to social media. It changes so rapidly. To just try and stay in the know. And I feel like finding your niche, finding your audience, and kind of educate them. Get some help.
Yeah. Call me.
Yes, get some help because you can't manage it all on your own. It's just like nearly impossible and too stressful.
Yeah. Especially when you have someone like us here at IAD, we have like the tools and the resources in order to provide value to the agent by we're kind of like doing all the heavy lifting for you in that sense. I mean, I won't scroll your feed for you and I'm not going to be like responding to comments or messages. That in and of itself is like full-blown social media management. We're not charging social media management prices. And
you don't want to be responsible for a person's the results. Yes, but no.
I don't want to be responsible for having a conversation with a client and then say, for example, if that client ends up booking an appointment with the agent and they're like, oh my gosh, you remember that conversation we were having on Facebook? And then they're like, no.
Yes.
Then they're just going to lose trust in you. So that's the reason why I'm like, okay, I'm going to like all of that's considered inbound engagement.
Yep.
We don't handle the inbound engagement. We handle the content marketing and then I'll let you know if you get comments and I'll let you
like. But like you said, that is the heaviest part of it is like actually coming up with an idea of what to even post, what to even talk about. So you're right. You do the heavy lifting. The responding to people, that is the easiest part. Now I can do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
hey, I can do that all day.
Yeah, like so here, like somebody has a question about Medicare. That's all you, honey boo boo. That's all you.
But coming up with the actual post and that is the hardest part.
Yeah. I agree. Well, Gabby, thank you so much for sitting down with me and talking about social media. I was so happy to have you here. It's so good because I haven't seen you in so long.
I know, right?
It's literally been like 3 years since I've seen you.
Right? I'm glad you invited me too because although I'm sharing some of my knowledge, I definitely got a lot of info from you that I'm going to be writing down because I feel like a lot of tips to where I can implement.
Yeah, that's I honestly, one of my favorite things about even doing this podcast too is that I've been having so many different agents come in and I've been conducting interviews with them, and even I'm learning so much from them and just like from their side and of being out in the field. So it's been really helpful for me to now have that insight as to really like digging into what it's like to be an insurance agent and just like what that
I should do a day in the life.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Look at how ideas are just popping up in my brain now.
Literally, I find that I get the most ideas for social media marketing or just like even for my own content or from other agents' content, literally just by looking and scrolling through the feed, seeing what other people are doing, keeping up on the trends, and just doing whatever I think is fun. Who cares if it's not perfect? I am so
Exactly,
sick
yeah.
and tired of trying to be perfect because
Mhm.
nobody is perfect.
No.
It's not going to be perfect.
Yep.
So just post it.
Mhm.
Like, post the graphic as long as it's not a field of sunflowers with a
Right.
two sentence synopsis about, why it's important to have
How
insurance.
bad can it be?
Yeah, exactly. Just have a strategy. If you need
Mhm.
help with the strategy, please call us.
Yes.
Actually, speaking of which, if you are an independent agent and you are struggling out there, you really want to take your social media marketing to the next level, but you really need some help, please give us a call at 1-800-381-0977. You can also visit our website, www.iadbrokerage.com. But yeah, if you are interested in checking out our social media channels, we are on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we are on TikTok, as well as on YouTube. If you are interested in viewing this podcast after it airs, you can view it on our YouTube channel. And we would love to have you come back and listen again to another post of the Direct Insurance Podcast. Thank you so much, Gabby, for joining me for this episode. And I'm so glad that we got to dip into insurance.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
You're very welcome. To all of you guys out there listening, thank you so much for listening today, and you guys have a good day. Bye.